Today we're looking at branding. As you know, that branding is a set of associations we have. Now there are two brands here, BMW and Audi. If you click on both of the logos, it will take you to an advert. If you look at the BMW advert, that advert, the associations are to do with power. It's very targeted at single men who are successful, probably in their 30s, who are successful in all areas of their life. It's all about power and aspiration of someone you might want to be when you're older, or someone you are currently might like to be now. If you look at the Audi advert, it's all about safety and how the car is designed. So they're trying to build different brand images for the same car. The brand personality is a set of human characteristics we give to the brand. So with BMW and Audi, they would be very, very different people. I'd like to think of what type of person those cars would be. So businesses definitely want to build brands. You've looked at this already. The main reasons are that it will differentiate your product when you don't have a USP or in a highly competitive market. So Coke and Pepsi are pretty much colas in a can or a bottle. They are pretty much the same product, but we perceive them as very different. That is because of their branding. Coca-Cola is red, Pepsi is red and blue. Coca-Cola is all about being together and families. Pepsi is all about being young and exciting. Very different products, but basically they are the same product. Customers will pay a premium, as we looked at before, that trainers, we will pay quite a considerable premium to have a pair of trainers with a logo on it that we have associations with, rather than an unbranded pair. So that's really good for businesses because it makes more profit. Customers instantly recognise and trust a product, so they develop loyalty. We will keep on going to it, so they don't need to keep reselling to new customers. We're built in. Repeat purchase. You can stretch a brand, so you've got a brand and you can bring out new products underneath that brand. So I recognise the purple of Cadbury and then will buy new products that come underneath that Cadbury badge because I respect the brand Cadbury and know what I'm going to get. And brands tend to fare better in tough market conditions like a recession rather than non-branded ones, because in a recession we have less money. We want to have guaranteed satisfaction. So therefore, if we buy a brand that we know that our money is well spent rather than spending it on something that we don't know. So brands do better in a recession. So all in all, it's pretty good for a business. Now, the question is, which of Ansoff's strategies is branding the most important to? So brand recognition is vital for product development. Product development is bringing out new products under the existing brand. If you don't have a brand, product development is fairly rubbish. You need to have a strong brand for market penetration as well, because you want to have repeat purchases. It makes it so much easier if you have a brand that you can encourage people to pay rather than encouraging them with price. Market development, not so important because the brand doesn't exist in those markets. So therefore you have to go establishing it, and the same for diversification. Customers like brands too. It's a perfect world, isn't it? It makes it buying decision easier, less risk of disappointment, good in a recession, you know what you're getting. As I said before, why we buy them? We don't take risks. We like to know what we're getting. It makes shopping quicker. If I can buy something that's branded, I know I like, even my mum used to buy, I will buy Persil because my mum bought it. I assume it washes clothes. I have no idea, but I always buy it. By owning a brand, we associate ourselves with a group of similar consumers. So if we are consumers who shop in a certain shop, wear a certain label, there are associations with us that we want to be part of a larger group. It's safer and we can just copy other people's ideas, and it's an easier way of belonging to groups. Linked very much to this is we gain self-esteem. I will look at a brand and go, ooh, look at you, aren't you posh, aren't you fashionable, aren't you exciting? And I will get self-esteem from it, and people will look at me and think and give me respect, weirdly, from having it. Now, we need to understand the buying decision of a brand before we can really understand branding. And I've got three. I've got Coca-Cola, J'adore, and Mercedes. Click on those, takes you to an advert. The buying decision is basically how you buy it. If I want to go and buy a fizzy drink, I will walk into a shop and I will possibly spend 20 seconds deciding if that. So if you look at the advert for Coca-Cola, in the advert for Coca-Cola, the brand, apart from all the happiness and stuff, is all about showing the product. I see the product over and over again. The colour red pops up all the time in Coca-Cola's adverts. That is, I go to a shop, I see red, I see Coca-Cola, I purchase it. If they didn't put in Coca-Cola and red, the brand recognition, the instant brand recognition, would not be sufficient for me to recognise it. So for all fast-moving consumer goods with instant decisions, colour and repetition of product are really important. When we look at the perfume is bought less frequently and is generally bought by your partner for you. So it's quite difficult for people to buy perfume. That's why they put them in very distinct bottles so they're easier to pick out. And if you click on this advert, you will see that the lady in the advert looks like the bottle. So when you're going into a shop to buy some perfume, you'll be looking around, you'll see something you recognise in a weird way, a bit like Coca-Cola, but a lot more subtle. And then you'll go, oh yeah. Also in the advert, you will tend to put in an advert, is a lady in this advert. Stereotypically, men will buy perfume for women. You tend to put the woman in the advert that the men ideally would like as a partner, or the woman would like to be. So it reinforces the brand, because if they are attracted to the person in the advert, they will pay more attention to the advert, and she reinforces the brand. You think, that is a lady for me. Weird, but you watch them. And finally, we've got Mercedes, which is all about creating esteem, making you think, oh, what an exciting car, I would like to have this one. You may not act on the Mercedes advert right away. You lot are 17. You won't probably be buying a Mercedes yet, but they might be making you want one. And it's a long burn, and you'll see someone driving a Mercedes and go, ooh, look at them, they're driving a Mercedes, and give them respect for driving a Mercedes. It is a funny old world.